between forgetting and remembering. Every place exists before it gets a name. Wind blows, rain falls, and grass grows on the land. Footprints walk across it. But when a place gets a name, it becomes history. It becomes something we can remember. The name Ryde holds many different times. A kiss by the river, the god of war, memories of a distant island, a grandmother's apple, and a railway line that divided the area. All of this is hidden in the name of a suburb 13 kilometers away. Kissing Point. What a romantic name. But that kiss wasn't about love. It was about collision. Ships traveled up the Parramatta River carrying the ambitions of colonial settlers. These heavy boats hit rocks on the river bottom. The sailors called this rough contact a kiss, as if calling violence by a loving name makes it not violence. The year Europeans first stepped onto Sydney Cove, they used the word discovery, but people had already lived there for tens of thousands of years. The same was true for Ryde. The records say it was settled after Parramatta, but the fact that it was already someone's land before settlement gets pushed to the footnotes of history. In 1792, Governor Phillip gave land to retired Marines and named this place Field of Mars. Mars was the Roman god of war. What an honest name. This was conquered land. Not a field where seeds were planted, but a field where swords were stuck into the ground. Later, this place became Eastern Farms, then Kissing Point. The names changed, but the river still flowed in the same place. It was just called by different words now. G.M. Pope came from the Isle of Wight in southern England, a small island about the size of Gioje Island. What was in his heart as he crossed the ocean to the other side of the world? In the 1840s, he opened a small shop here, and he brought the name of his hometown city, Ryde Store. Those 4 letters on the sign weren't just a business name. They were a charm for memory, a flag of homesickness. People visited his shop and naturally started calling this area Ryde, a moment when one person's longing became the community's name. In 1870, that name officially became a municipality. People who leave their homeland often transplant their homeland's name to new land. New York, New England, New South Wales. Behind the adjective new is an obsession with a past that isn't new at all. Ryde was born this way too. When the name of a small English island was transplanted onto Australian hills, home crossed the Pacific Ocean like a ghost. In 1868, an unknown sprout appeared in Maria Ann Sherwood Smith's orchard. It was an accident. The story goes that she threw an apple core out the window and later found a new variety growing beneath the kitchen windowsill. She didn't pull out the sprout, she let it grow. Was it curiosity? Or did she simply forget about it in her busy daily life? The sprout grew into a tree, and green apples grew on that tree. Granny Smith. Granny Smith's apple. That's what people called it. Sour and firm, making a crisp sound when you bite into it. This apple soon spread beyond Australia to the whole world. It's strange when you think about it. One of the most common apples in supermarket aisles around the world today was born from one woman's accidental discovery in a small orchard in suburban Sydney. History is often made in small, trivial moments like this. Not from heroes' decisions, but from ordinary people's small choices. Every autumn, a festival honoring her is held in the neighboring area of Eastwood. People bite into green apples and remember a woman. Actually, they remembered the apple. Nobody knows what her life was like, what she dreamed of, what sorrows and joys she experienced. Only the apple she left behind survives with her name. In 1886, the whistle of a steam locomotive echoed across this land. The Northern Railway opened. Civilization's machine had arrived. The new station was named Ryde, but soon there was a problem. The existing Ryde town center was at the top of a hill, and the railway station was lower down to the west. People were confused. When you said Ryde, which place did you mean? In 1928, they found a solution. The existing town center became Top Ryde, and the place with the railway station became West Ryde. Top Ryde, West Ryde. Very functional and practical names. But behind those simple names was a reorganization of the city. Railway tracks don't just cross space, they divide time. Time before the railway and time after the railway. The era of traveling by horse and the era of traveling by train, West Ryde was a city built on that boundary line. People gathered along the railway tracks. Houses were built, shops appeared, schools were established. West Ryde became an accessible suburban residential area. In the morning, people took trains to the city for work, and in the evening, they took trains back home. The railway was an umbilical cord connecting the city and suburbs. Ryde is no longer just land for British immigrants. People from all over the world start new lives here. Like the apple Maria Smith discovered by accident, this city itself is a hybrid. It doesn't claim pure origins. Instead, it proudly shows its many roots. That is this city's strength. The Parramatta River still flows. Ships no longer kiss the rocks. The river has been dredged. The waterways have been maintained. But the water still flows in the same direction. Just like you can't defy gravity, time only flows in one direction. Writing the history of Ryde is ultimately a fight against forgetting. Countless names have disappeared, unrecorded lives, unremembered moments. What we know is just the tip of the iceberg. But even with that tip, we can make a story. From Kissing Point to West Ryde, from the Field of Mars to Granny Smith's orchard. These stories aren't just lists of facts. They're the results of interpretation. Ryde is not a finished city. It's still changing, still accepting new names. Someday today's names will also become the past, and a new generation will write another story. The river still flows. Even when names change, the land remains. Those of us walking on it are all travelers passing through. We just hope that the footprints we leave might, by chance, be remembered by someone. 13 kilometers northwest of Sydney CBD. That's where Ryde is. A city where past and present overlap, quietly but persistently continuing its time.